Recording from an undisclosed location in Sacramento, it's Jeff and Dave Talk Movies.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Jeff and Dave Talk the Movies. I am Jeff, and I just screwed that up.
You totally just biffed. Well, you know what? That's what happens when it's a live show. I'm Dave, and I'm not going to mess up because I'm near perfect. And we have...
Flawless. We have a special guest today.
We do have a special guest today. My son Tyler is with us. We're
Tyler,
pretty excited.
what's up?
Nothing much. Just visiting out from California. My dad and I, as you know, are both nerds, so it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Well, welcome, Tyler. Glad to have you.
Yeah.
It's good to see you again. I haven't seen you in a while.
I know,
I
3
think
years.
It's been 3 years.
Yeah. It's been, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you got to see some of the awesomeness of the Infinity War trailer.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, that came out last weekend, and we actually got to kind of watch it together.
That's going to be
which
great.
was pretty awesome.
Oh.
So, and you and I have not talked about this, so I'm kind of excited to get into this trailer today. And we've got also the Deadpool 2.
Yes.
I don't know if it's the final trailer, or if we're going to get 4 more trailers or whatever, but it's a more extensive trailer. But oh my gosh.
I'm good with what we have for trailers. I think we touched on this before.
Well, yeah.
It's like why release 10 trailers before you give away half the movie?
Right.
It's true.
Where you could go through and almost at this point edit it together where you get the full freaking movie. Almost. So it's just like, hey, everybody, it's an Avengers movie. We're excited.
Right.
You don't even need to release a trailer. Shoot, release a trailer the week before. We're excited. We're in.
Yep. We're in.
We're going to see it.
You don't even have to release. Yeah, just a poster.
Yeah. And we're in. Same thing with Deadpool. Like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Deadpool, gosh, that one looks funny.
Oh, it looks
Ryan
fantastic.
Reynolds nailed it.
Okay, so your initial take. You had texted me something right after you watched it, and I'll get to that in a minute. But okay, so your initial take of the trailer was?
My first initial take of the second trailer, and this is the first of like 85 times that I've watched it, was I think we finally get to see how Steve Rogers dies.
Oh, yeah.
You had texted me that. I had watched it, and then you had texted me that, and I was like, oh, I got to go watch this thing again. And I agree.
I think we're going to see it.
I think we saw.
I'm like, oh, I felt a little tear.
Do you know what we're talking about, Tyler?
Oh, yeah. The Mormon trailer where he catches Thanos' hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, I hope that it's a quick death. I don't want it to be long and drawn out. I think it'd be better if it's just done that quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have a feeling. This is my theory on it, and we're going to know on April 27th. So this is all just kind of speculation. I predict that because it looks like Wakanda plays a huge part in this movie, and that's where the Life Stone is.
Mm-hmm. The Soul Stone.
The Soul Stone, yeah. That it's there in Wakanda, and so Tony Stark says something in the trailer about we need to use these weapons against him. We need to use what he's looking for.
A bait.
Against him. Yeah, and so I kind of dig that. So my prediction is that it's a last-ditch effort to get rid of the Soul Stone, to get it away from Thanos. Mm-hmm. And Steve Rogers comes in and says, I'll fight him off. Go get the Soul Stone, get it away from here. Mm-hmm. I'll take care of him. And so it's like a heroic thing to buy time for everyone to get away. And then when Thanos is finally like, okay, I'm done. Then it's going to be swift. It's going to be...
Yeah. I would prefer he gets killed off in the first part.
Yeah, I would too.
And then because it's just like you said, just get it over with. Just boom, done.
Just do it, and then the second movie gives us the opportunity to kind of deal with the aftermath of everything.
Well, actually, this is something I'm kind of hoping they do. I think it'd be interesting because if you look at the order of the movies, there's a second Avengers movie pretty soon after. I'm hoping that this Avengers movie, the Avengers lose. They lose flat out to Thanos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I think that would be an amazing story. Like, no, they don't win. This is a movie where they get their asses handed to them. And...
Did you say ass?
I did. Bad habits.
Who's your parents?
Oh, you are. But I think they need to lose, and they need to lose big time.
No, they do. Or they win, but with heavy casualties. Mm-hmm. And because it's my understanding that Chris Evans is in the second Avengers movie, which comes out next year. Mm-hmm. Actually, I think we're just like a year away from the second Avengers movie, the fourth Avengers movie.
Well, you bring up a good point, and what we could be seeing here is they could be taking snippets of the second part and throwing in this trailer just to kind of throw you off a little bit.
True.
So
it could. Well, because trailers do that. They're notorious for, like, okay, well, here's a scene. We're going to show you this scene, but it's actually not in the movie. Mm-hmm. And so you're right. We totally could be seeing things. And so even though Chris Evans, from what I understand, is slated to be in the next one, it could all be flashbacks.
Flashbacks, right. Yeah.
And them trying to deal with, okay, well, what do we do? Captain America's dead.
Right.
Yeah.
That very well could be.
And, Thor's dead, or whoever's gone. And that's what my prediction is that they win, but it's heavy casualties.
And I think if they were to win, it's probably only going to be a temporary win.
Oh, yeah, it totally could be. And I don't think...
Well, I think you're going to see some small battles leading up to the Thanos war. Because they have to track down the rest of the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
And there is
just one. The Soul Stone's the only one that's missing at this point. They have everything else.
There's one that I don't know. Maybe you saw this, maybe you didn't. But there is a scene in this where Shuri, and this is the fan theory, is that Shuri will figure out a way to remove the Mind Stone from Vision's head. So what we're seeing, Thanos removing it, is not
Thanos removing it.
Yeah.
It's her removing it.
Yeah. It very well could be. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of go through and play this live.
Do it.
And I have this all ready to go.
Do it.
And I have an interesting observation that I noticed, too.
Okay, well, let's watch and let's compare notes.
Here we go.
The entire time I knew him, he only ever had one goal. To wipe out half the universe. If he gets all the Infinity Stones, he can do it with the snap of his fingers. Just like that.
Tell me his name again.
Thanos.
Okay, let me just say it right here. I got the chills right now.
Yeah.
Just watching that part.
Oh,
that is freaking awesome.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just love the snap of the fingers and the
silence.
loss of sound.
Right.
Where it's just like, oh, okay, that's more than semi-ominous.
But going right there and just him taking off his helmet is just like,
oh
dude,
yeah.
that's
Bad
so
things are
cool.
happening.
All right, here we go.
We got one advantage. He's coming to us.
Okay. That right there is freaking cool.
Oh yeah. Well, and that from what I've read, Shuri has designed that.
That is
so that is all
awesome.
her. That is all her. That rocket. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Rocket. I didn't even notice that the first time watching it. I had to go back through. And,
Oh, I know.
And pick
Yeah,
that up.
there's so much. This is so embedded with Easter eggs. It's not even
Oh,
funny.
it's not. Yeah, this is crazy.
So embedded.
That's awesome.
We have what Thanos wants, so that's what we use.
All right.
Okay,
we
right
gotta
there.
Back up here.
Okay, we're gonna back up just a little bit.
So we got the whole gang here.
Yeah.
We got Bruce Banner. We got War
Rhodey.
Machine.
Yeah, Rhodey's there.
And it looks like Vision back there. We got I mean, so I think you're right. They're bringing the fight to Wakanda. Let's get out of out of these populated areas. Let's go where we can hold it.
Let's localize it. Yeah.
Right.
Well, and they've got the tech. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, we're better equipped to probably fight off this battle.
Right.
And I just, the more I see, and see, this is I agree with you on the too many trailers thing. But I also kind of regress because as we get more of the information gets let out. Mm-hmm. And me personally, it's like, oh man, okay, now I really got to see what's going on.
Right.
And I mean, I was in anyway, but it's like, oh,
The hype gets better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just looks so good.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, this right here.
yeah.
So that's Cherie, and she's got a picture of she's got that hologram of Vision
That's true.
with the Infinity Stone there.
First time I saw that,
You know what? I didn't realize that.
yeah, I immediately think two thoughts popped in my head. Either Vision, at that point, since I hadn't really taken a closer look, either he's got the Infinity Stone taken out and she's going to help revive him, or, like you said, they're going to find a way to separate
To remove it.
Yeah.
And it could very well be where they remove it and they put a decoy in his head.
Oh yeah.
And so he thinks when we see Thanos removing the Infinity Stone, he thinks he's actually getting the real Infinity Stone, but it ain't.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just a pebble.
Oh, see, it's not something I had thought about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is not something I thought about because it's also with the Eye of Agamotto. Obviously that would be a good tool to keep reversing time to go back and keep defeating him. But it's going to be interesting to see how they do all that. But I hadn't thought of that theory before
Very well,
of a
yeah.
decoy.
Yep.
Let's talk about this plan of yours. I think it's good, except it sucks. So let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good.
Wow.
Dude.
I want to 3D print that Hulkbuster.
That's freaking awesome.
I know. I love it. I see it, and it's like, I need one in my living room.
It could be a Thanos buster.
Yeah, I don't even care if I can't see the TV anymore.
Right?
It would just be awesome to have that in my living room.
That is every bit of badass right there.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
The end is near. When I'm done,
So that's interesting to me right there. So
we get a flashback of Gamora.
of Gamora and Thanos when she was just a little lass.
Yeah.
But, so I don't know how that's going to quite set up there, but that's kind of interesting that they're making that relationship. They're pushing that
Right.
relationship.
I think this is going to play back to what we hear Gamora saying at the beginning of the trailer. Mm-hmm. I think there's more that she's going to relay, and this is going to play right into that.
Yeah.
It's going to go right into a flashback.
Now, where do you guys stand on the fact that maybe Gamora is like the bad guy, one of the bad guys?
It's a possibility. I really hope she's not.
It is a possibility, but I hope she's not as well.
Yeah.
I hope they don't do that, because one of the things that I always get bothered with is here's this character we're really going to fall in love with, that we think is just amazing, and we root for them the whole time, and then, oh no, just kidding, they're the devil.
Right.
See, what I think is going to happen, I think this is part of, well, like you said, in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, he's not my father. He took everything from me. I think this is just part of that. Like, look, I did what I had to do.
Right. Well, and I look at someone that is so forgiving of her sister that's trying to kill her. So her relationship with Nebula, where she's like, look, I just want to be your sister. I just want to be with you. I don't think that would be behavior that someone that is ultimately evil that's going to do.
Right.
I think that we would have seen more of it. And I'd be mad at Marvel if that's what they decide to do.
Well, I doubt they're going to go that way.
Yeah, I doubt too, but everybody has that
You never know.
theory. You do never know.
half of humanity will still exist.
Now that right there was kind of interesting to see Thor's skull under Thanos' hand.
Yeah. Well, end of Thor Ragnarok, that big huge ship that's coming, when he and Loki are having their conversation, that is Thanos' ship.
Yeah.
And
So it's highly possible that that's how the movie starts.
It could be, man.
Because there was a trailer that was put out. It was a special Comic-Con trailer, and it did get leaked briefly. And I think you and I had seen the link, or we tried to find the link, but it got released. And there is a scene where Thor is floating out in space. And it's highly possible that takes place. He chucks him out into space thinking that he's going to die, and then here come the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they pick him up.
And that's when he says, who are you guys?
Yeah, who are you? And that's how the movie starts, and they're kind of following Thanos to Earth.
Yep. I mean, right off the bat, we're seeing Thor get his butt handed to him.
Yeah.
Perfectly balanced. As all things should be. I hope they remember you.
So that was kind of cool. I mean, you see the Hulkbuster get taken down there.
Oh yeah.
But then, what did you see? What did you see? Thanos crushing his hand. Just
Tesseract.
The Tesseract. Mm-hmm. He's like gone.
Because we know the stone's in there.
Right.
This movie's gonna be good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
There's so many things that are just gonna be tied together. I mean, it's just finally you're just gonna get.
Oh yeah. I think, like Steve Rogers, I hope his isn't like a sudden like, oh, what just happened? That we get to see him die a warrior's death, like something worthy of him.
Right.
But I have a feeling we're gonna get the holy crap, that person just freaking died.
Yeah. Yep.
A lot of unexpected stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's That, my friends, I believe is it for Steve Rogers.
I think so too.
Right there.
I think that's the final. But see, that to me, oh my gosh, what a way to go out!
Oh yeah.
How beautiful that would be to see him
sacrifice everything for his friends.
I mean, yes, ultimately he gets defeated by Thanos, but to hold him off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's worse ways.
Yeah, there's worse ways. All right.
Yeah, I work with a guy that having to listen to that guy talk. That'd be worse than getting killed by Thanos. And it's no one in this room. I can honestly say that.
All right, here we go. Last part.
I'm Peter, by the way.
Doctor Strange.
Oh, you're using your made-up names. Then I am Spider-Man.
Okay, yeah.
See, I love that they're pushing Spider-Man. I mean, that's just that's
the whole experience for me is just we finally get to see Spider-Man. I mean, we've seen Spider-Man within the MCU, but we really get to see him as an Avenger in this one. We get to see Doctor Strange as an Avenger.
Right.
We get to see really the complete Avengers.
Everybody, yeah.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
And we did get to see Bruce Banner, so obviously Bruce Banner can still be Bruce Banner, but I'm just wondering if, he's Bruce Banner in the beginning, and then when we do see the Hulk, he's the Hulk, and then I wonder if he's just going to continue being the Hulk at that point.
I don't know. That'll be interesting to see, but I'm hoping, what I'm really hoping is that there's a control, that he can turn it on and off.
Well, remember at the end of Ragnarok, he goes, that's going away. He goes, I'm losing control. So it's either, Thor. He goes, I think the next time that, I turn into the green guy, I'm going to stay the green guy.
Yeah, but we saw him turn into the green guy, so obviously he could turn it back. What I'm hoping is that there's just a gain of control, where it's like, okay, look, we have to work together. Mm-hmm. There's times where Banner needs to be Banner,
right.
And there's times where the Hulk needs to be Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to work out something together where, okay, stuff's going down, Hulk, up he comes. It's like, okay, we need to be smart, Banner, boop, and down he goes. That's what I'm kind of hoping. I think it'd be really interesting if that was the case.
Yeah, that would be.
I think they really set it up nicely with Thor Ragnarok, where they show that now that the Hulk is able to, I think, have a voice, I think that will bring a good deal of control, because now the Hulk can voice his
right.
opinion. He's not just a big angry guy.
Yeah, and I did love the Hulk in Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, it was hilarious. Man.
Oh yeah, he was great.
I really that's one character I hope does not get killed off, because I still want to see Planet Hulk. I would love to see more of that character.
The
The Avengers is Avengers without the Incredible Hulk. I mean,
Right.
you got to have the
No,
Hulk in it
completely.
somehow.
But I would love to see a solo Hulk movie.
Oh, yeah.
But I guess Universal's not allowing them to do a solo Hulk movie. That it's like, no, you can use them. Well, until Disney goes, okay, guess what, Universal, we own you. Solo Hulk movie.
Right. Well, they got it with Spider-Man, finally.
They did. They didn't have to buy Sony to do it, though.
Right. Sony's like, all right,
Okay, we don't know what we're doing. Obviously, you know what you're doing. Please,
please, by all means.
yeah, you can use
Have at it.
Spider-Man. And they worked out whatever deal they did. But now, see, as we're closing out Phase 3 of the Avengers, it's going to be, I don't know, we've got possibilities because we have the X-Men now.
And Fantastic Four.
We have the Fantastic Four. Are we going to start rolling these people in to the MCU? Which I mean, I really hope that's what ends up happening.
That'd be nice.
Well, there's a few ways they could end up bringing the X-Men in, which I think is really cool. They could do a whole new, like, Xavier, all these new characters.
Which is what they're going to have to. They're going to have to reboot everything, except Hugh Jackman needs to have a big, huge freaking check written to him
Yes.
for him to come back as Wolverine.
It's
Yes.
true. Or, and I think this is probably less likely, they could bring it in to where this is just part of the new timeline after Days of Future Past.
It could be,
But
there's a ton of possibilities. This whole battle, this movie, is going to be key
Yeah, yeah.
in really setting this up. It's like almost, I don't know if it was planned, but man, this really is like perfect because the repercussions for this universe is huge. And so it could be that, well, okay, this huge thing happened. Now the mutants have to come out and be exposed. And I want Deadpool to be part of this universe so bad. So bad.
How awesome would that be?
And I want it to be where he swears he's him. He has all the swearing, but he's beeped out.
Yeah.
And he's the only one that can hear the beep. We can as the audience, but have him swearing and have it just be beep, beep, beep. What's going on?
Right.
What do you mean what's going on? You got to watch your language, man. No, I'm beeped out every time I say it. And then have him just beep, 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 beep. See? Does no one else hear that? No. Sorry, you need
are
to stop.
insane.
That would be awesome.
I would love
I would
that.
love to see that.
I would love that.
I would love to see it. And you know what? If anybody can pull it off, Marvel. I mean,
Marvel will do it.
You
Well,
can't rely on DC to do
and
anything. So
no.
Marvel can pull it all together.
Well, and they're saying that Venom is part of this world. The head of Sony was doing an interview with. I think we've talked about this.
Bring
was
on
doing
Tom
an interview-
Hardy, man.
Oh yeah, I know.
That's awesome.
They were doing an interview about this, and someone asked. So Kevin Feige and the head of Sony, and I don't know her name, but they were having this interview about Venom and about Spider-Man being part of the world, and someone asked, so we're doing the Venom movie. Is it part of this universe? And she goes, well, we went into it always thinking that it was going to be part of the Spider-Man universe, the new Spider-Man universe that we're creating. And Kevin Feige did not know that. And it was the first time hearing that. And you see him kind of go, ooh. And then this grin goes across his face like, oh, the possibility.
Right.
So it's highly possible that we could see a rated R MCU-driven movie.
Wow, that'd be awesome.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. That's part of this world that they're creating, the whole thing, but it's more adult.
And that would come out after the Quentin Tarantino-led Star Trek movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That would
Sam
be,
Jackson as Samuel Jackson
Samuel
as
Jackson.
Captain Kirk. Or Spock. Oh, yeah. Samuel Jackson as Spock.
His lost brother, Clarence.
Use logic, mother ever. I will pinch you in your
Path
neck.
of the righteous man.
That's right.
Oh, yeah,
that would
there's
be
some
great.
possibilities out there, and who knows where it's going to take us. But
I know, but
I
I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, that trailer is just a month from now. It's a month and 3 days from now.
I know. It's going to be awesome. And then we get Ant-Man and Wasp after that, and I'm kind of curious how it fits into this whole thing.
Did that trailer put you to sleep, man?
No, I'm
Are you burning
I'm
the
old,
candle
Jeff.
at both ends?
Yeah, I kind of am right now. It's not. Well, it is kind of great to be me, but those women aren't going to reply to themselves, buddy. So, sorry, son.
Oh, hi, son.
Yeah, there's a child in the room. He's not really a child, but no. But I'm excited to see where Ant-Man and Wasp plays into this.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
The future's great. So next month we're just a few weeks away.
Yeah.
From it.
Yeah, I can't wait. That's it can't get here soon enough.
No, it can't. So yeah, with Black Panther, that was our first one. It was like, oh, okay, gotta see this movie.
We got Black Panther, and now we're in the middle of this little dead time for movies, and then at least anything decent, and then Infinity War kicks it off. And
Infinity War does kick it off
boom,
because
boom, boom, boom.
because then we get in May we get Han Solo, we get what else do we get in May? Ant-Man and Wasp is June. And I think May we get Mission Impossible. Or is that July?
No, I think that's July.
Well, we get something good every month.
Yeah.
From here on out. We get at least one good movie. But in June we get Ant-Man and Wasp and we get Deadpool 2.
Yeah. I mean, you can't ask for a better lineup.
Oh, no. No, it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
What about you, Tyler? What are you most looking forward to?
Yeah, coming into the summer, what are you looking forward to?
Deadpool.
Deadpool the most?
Hands down, Deadpool.
Yeah. I regret on my other channel I did not list Deadpool on my top 5 movies that I'm excited to see, but I am very excited to see it.
There's another movie that's kind of flying under the radar with all this Infinity War and all these comic book movies is Ready Player One.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. When is that out?
Gosh, I knew you were going to ask that too.
Well, I think it's such an interesting premise.
It's a super interesting premise.
Ready Player One comes out in 5 days.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Next Friday.
The thing I enjoy about the trailer is there's so many like pop culture nods, Back to the Future.
Oh yeah,
and all this
saw
stuff.
the Iron Giant in there.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
It would be awesome if Vin Diesel came back and did the voice for that. That would be freaking cool.
Oh, I know. Well, that movie, one thing I like, because you and I are both kind of children of the 80s. Mm-hmm. And tons of 80s references in there. Tons of 80s references.
Yep.
So I really kind of dig that. And yeah, it is kind of, I think that might be even a surprise sleeper hit. Mm-hmm. Because, yeah, we do have all these big movies coming out.
Well, it's Spielberg.
It is.
It's going to get its nod for sure.
It will. But yeah, definitely going to have to go see that this coming weekend, I think.
It's another movie that's kind of flying under the radar, and it's got perfect reviews so far, is A Quiet Place.
Oh, yeah.
That looks pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Huh. You've seen the trailer for that?
No, not at all.
Oh, we got to watch the trailer for that tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, good stuff.
It looks freaky good. Freaky good.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find the lineup of our movies here, and I can't. Gosh, man.
If we had a producer.
If we had a producer, did you happen to see? And I'm gonna piggyback to what we talked about last week about all these remakes. Mm-hmm. They're coming out with a remake of the Goldie Hawn Kurt Russell classic, Overboard.
I know, and it's a woman that kidnaps a guy. Why?
Well, seriously. It's like,
why?
Why mess with it?
Well, here's another one that I saw that I have the same feelings of. They're doing Mary Poppins.
No, this one is a sequel.
That's
really?
It's not a remake. It's a continuation. In fact, from what I understand, it's Mary Poppins coming back to take care of Jane and Michael's children. Actually, Michael's children.
Huh. Okay.
So Ben Winsome, I can't remember his name, the guy that played Q in the last 2 James Bond movies, he is playing Michael.
Okay.
And I think he's become the unattentive father, so the children call upon Mary Poppins to come in and take care of that. So it's a sequel, it's not a remake.
Okay, my only wish, and I know this is probably stretching it, bring Julie Andrews back.
Nope. Well, because they want it to be the young Mary Poppins. I'm okay with Emily Blunt playing it. She has a beautiful singing voice. It is a musical. and I guess Lin-Manuel Miranda, who did Hamilton, wrote all the music for it.
And the best part about this movie is that Dick Van Dyke has a part in this movie.
He does.
Really?
He's coming
He
back.
does.
And he's not playing Bert or anything. He's playing an older banker, playing a banker part. So apparently Michael's working for the bank,
Just
and
like
so
his
Dick
dad.
Van
And it's his
Dyke
boss,
is-
yeah. And I think it's the same bank that his father worked for. Mm-hmm. So Dick Van Dyke, I think, is playing the son
Of the original
the
boss.
the character that he played in the original.
Right.
That's so cool.
Which is really
That's so
cool.
cool. I'm
Okay.
glad that he's back in that.
Oh yeah.
I feel better about this movie now.
And for all we know, they could be keeping it super quiet, but Julie Andrews could make a cameo in there.
See, and I'd love that.
We'll just have to kind of wait and see.
Well, and this is gonna, and Disney is gonna do this one right because
Yeah.
It is.
they did come out with. Now I can't remember the name of that movie where Tom Hanks played Walt Disney and it was
Mr. Banks, wasn't it Mr.
Saving Mr. Banks.
Yeah, Saving Mr. Banks.
Yeah, so they're going to take care of this property.
It's
This
true.
is Mary
Yeah.
Poppins is a huge deal for Disney. So
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of a sacred property too for a lot of people, and so it's going to pay
Yeah.
homage to the original, and I'm actually kind of excited about seeing it.
So here we go. So you got Deadpool. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, it's okay.
So you got April 27th in Infinity War, and then not even 3 weeks later, Deadpool 2
Nice.
comes out. Ant-Man and the Wasp in July. So June's going to be kind of a ho-hum month, But
Yeah.
I mean, and then right after, and actually a few months after that, then you have Venom.
Right.
But that's October, and then X-Men: Dark Phoenix in
Which
November.
I could give two craps about.
Yeah, I mean, it's time to do away with the X-Men movies. Personally,
Yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna, I
They
would
need
love
to-
to see across.
They need to kill that part of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to the original topic of conversation, I think when it comes to integrating them into the MCU, start with a fresh cast. Keep Hugh Jackman.
Well, I don't know I joke about that, and a lot of people are pushing for it, but I don't know that Hugh Jackman's ever going to come back.
Yeah, well, he did die.
He did, but this could be a new timeline in the things. But I just don't know that he'll come back and do it. They'd have to. I mean, the only way to truly do it, I think, is to wash away everything.
I just had a
Make it
flashback. They can
what?
totally do like they brought back Superman.
Oh
Bring
yeah,
back Wolverine the same way we brought back Superman.
no, that was horrible.
It was horrible.
It was horrible.
There was, I don't know if you saw it, but they did show Superman's mustache. So when he had to go back and they had to reshoot those
Right.
scenes, there was footage out there of Superman with the mustache,
Oh wow.
and it actually looked pretty cool. And it would have been awesome if they would have gave him a beard.
See, that's what I was
That
thinking.
would have been
Well, see, and that's the thing. When he
Awesome.
came back in the comics, he did,
yeah.
and it worked. I don't know. I just hated
So
how they brought
instead
it
of
back.
CGing his face and just ruining
Right.
the whole thing,
Just keep
Just
the
give him a beard.
mustache.
Yeah. Just do
Oh,
it.
God,
Yeah, I don't know.
DC, you need to hire us.
You do. They need
Seriously.
to call us, and we'll work cheap compared to these guys. You pay me, pay us both. What, 100 grand?
Easy. Yeah, I'd do it for 100 grand. 100 grand.
100 grand
That's
each.
it.
There you go, 200 grand. Cheap.
Oh, that's it.
And we'll totally consult on whatever you want, because the way you guys are going right now sucks.
You need it.
Yeah, you need the help really bad,
Yeah, we
because I mean, just look at all the
Marvel's
movies that they
running
had.
circles around you right now.
Oh yeah, all the movies you had slated to come out have totally
Oof.
gone to the wayside.
Mm-hmm.
We were supposed to get 3 DC movies this year.
None of them happened.
What happened?
Yeah.
So I just can't wait to try my hand
They're
at
reshooting
editing
it all.
down
Yeah.
Justice League.
Yeah, Tyler's gonna go and do the Tyler Human edit.
Actually, there's going to be 2.
I want to see that.
I don't know how I'm going to do it. I know I can, though. I want to do one where it keeps the continuity with the original film, way shorten it down, and add it to the end of Batman v Superman, so it's just all one long thing.
Nice.
Because I've already done Man of Steel and Batman v Superman together. You keep the continuity where they bring him back. Then I want to do an edit where you take that out, where you keep the continuity of the end of Batman v Superman, where the dust rises on his grave,
Right.
and then all of a sudden, he just shows up, like it's supposed to be. Like, wait,
That's what we talked
You're
about.
back?
We talked about that, yeah.
Yeah.
and I think you keep it to where, like, Lois wakes up and she just needs to go to the farm, and he's there, and she's like, Clark? And that's when he turns around and says, I take it that's a yes.
Nice.
So I'm going to try my hand at it. I think I can do it.
Well, I got to tell you,
I want to see that when you're done.
I'll have to loan you the edit that he did of Man of Steel and Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
The battle scene at Metropolis, where he intercut Bruce Wayne driving through the streets during the Battle of Metropolis.
Oh, nice.
It's smooth.
It's seamless. You can't even tell.
Nice.
You can't even
I
tell.
wanna
It's
see that.
brilliantly done.
And there's,
I'll
of
get you a
course,
copy of it.
being the editor, I have my own favorite shots. There are certain bits, like there's a point where a jet loses control, and it's like, I'm losing control, mayday, mayday, and it smashes into a building next to the Daily Planet. There's a part in Batman v Superman where the same jet hits the building, and I intercut those. You cannot tell the
It's street
difference.
level. That's the thing, is that
cool.
now it's street. Yeah, I'll let you. I'll give you a copy.
CDC, you got to hire all three of us.
Yeah.
That's right. Because you guys right now have no freaking clue what you're doing.
Man.
And Tommy Wiseau, they released the footage of Tommy Wiseau's audition for the Joker. Boy, make sure you have a bottle of bleach next, because you need to clean your eyes out.
I thought they got, what's his name? I can't remember. He
Leonardo
was-
DiCaprio.
No, it's the guy from the brother from Signs.
Oh, Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I heard
please no.
about that. Yeah. They need to stop recasting that character. I mean,
They do.
I mean, I thought Jared Leto. I thought he was great. I mean, he's not the best.
Well,
obviously,
the
but
thing
I
is,
mean,
he's not Heath Ledger. No one's Heath Ledger. We need to stop saying that,
I mean,
because
Heath Ledger's dead because of that movie. let's
Right.
let's go there.
And so to me, you recasting a character so soon after you did a movie with that character shows you have no clue what you're doing.
Well, and the thing is,
Bad.
Batman has such a great rogues gallery of villains. Stop using the same five.
I've said that before
Yeah.
too. It's like let's
Throw
get some
away
different
the
villains in
Joker.
there.
Throw away
You got
Two-Face.
Mad Hatter, who essentially is a child killer.
Yeah.
You could do something completely horrifying with him.
Hugo
Riddler.
Strange.
Hugo Strange, you could do, the Riddler, if you'd done right. He could be pretty evil and terrifying.
Yep.
The Penguin, but just make him a short mob boss.
Yeah, make him a mob boss,
Yeah.
like they have him in the comic. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff you could do. And but quit using Catwoman, the Joker, and Two-Face.
Right.
Just stop.
You got a huge universe there. You need to use that.
I think-
Arnold's not working. Bring back the Mr. Freeze.
Oh, God.
That was sarcasm, folks.
That could actually, other than Arnold bit, if they did a movie where Mr. Freeze was the main antagonist, but they showed him as just a man who loves his wife, and that it's all based from that, I think that'd be a really interesting movie.
Yeah, but in the current state of the DC universe, it would just be horrible. They may as well get Joel Schumacher to come back and do it.
true.
I'd actually love to see kind of like how The Incredibles is bringing back the Underminer. You're going to see the first part of that movie where they fight the Underminer and then boom, he's gone. So let's do that with Mr. Freeze. Bring him in for like maybe like an encore as the end of the the next movie or something.
Right.
And then the movie after that, you see him finishing off Mr. Freeze or something. And,
Yeah.
Movie
it's
Just something.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're really floundering. We right now have come up with better ideas in what the 10 minutes we've been
coming out
talking
with.
about it
Right.
than what they currently have slated.
True.
And so they need to figure it out, because right now, and again, that group that's totally pissed off because they think Marvel's trying to submarine
Oh, jeez.
the DC universe. It's like, no, DC is their own worst enemy.
DC's submarining their own work.
Yeah, they are their own worst enemy.
Yeah.
And so, they need to figure out their crap and get back on it.
I agree.
It's true.
I agree.
Ooh, so it's a good time to be alive. We got Deadpool. I'm so excited for that. We had that new Deadpool trailer too.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that Terry Crews.
That's what I was going to say. Two things that I loved about that movie or that trailer. Terry Crews. And Deadpool fighting in high heels. That's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah.
I love that Dopinder is back.
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't have been the same if we didn't have Dopinder.
Yep.
And it looks like they totally are doing it right.
Oh yeah.
Well, of course they're doing it right because they don't. I mean, they care, but they don't.
Right.
It's like, no, we're just going to do everything we can. We're not going to take ourselves seriously, and that's what I love about it because that's the comic.
Yeah.
Well, and I love the fact that he even makes comments like, all right, we need to get a crack team of young mutants, and they need to be able to hold a movie franchise for the next 10 to 15 years. I love that little comment. Where
Well,
it's
and
like,
I love Domino's reply to that. It's like, isn't that a little derivative? Yeah, maybe a little. But I love that X-Force is going to be part of this next movie. I love that.
That is cool.
And so, yeah, we've got some... Oh, it's going to be good. That movie is going to be
If you are
phenomenal.
a comic book fan, this is a great time to be alive.
This is a great time to be alive.
Yep.
If you love remakes, this is also a great time for you to be alive because they're remaking everything.
but at
You
least,
like remakes.
at least some of them, they're doing okay. At least okay.
Yeah, every now and again, but it's the ones where they're again paying homage to the homage to the original. Like they just redid Murder on the Orient Express.
That's
Yeah.
Did a great job.
Yeah.
It was the same storyline as the 1976 version of the movie. It followed the book perfectly. So I'm kind of okay with that. But it's like, okay, hold on. Here's what we're gonna do.
Right.
We're gonna redo Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. Except we're gonna make it. Stay with me on this. Cats. We're still gonna call it The Birds. But it's gonna be about all these women that are chased by cats.
They have one out already, only done with sharks.
Oh my gosh.
Sharknado.
Didn't they
Sharknado
make like
1, 2,
2 or
3,
3
4.
sequels to
And
that?
12. What?
Didn't they make a few sequels to that
Yeah,
movie?
What, to
there's like 5 or
Sharknado?
6
Oh, yeah.
of them, yeah.
Well, because they bang those things out on a weekend. Just do it on the weekend. The visual effects are basically just a bunch of rubber sharks in a fishnet stocking. They just put a drill on it and just woo. Ian Ziering's not doing anything because he's in every freaking one of them.
Right. Oh, geez.
So, yeah. The sequels, man. Come on, stop with the sequels and stop with the...
Some great material out there. They just need to go with.
I know, and it just the whole. What bothers me is just the whole. We're gonna do a remake of it, but we're gonna totally change what it was that made it great, and we're basically gonna turn it into a steaming pile of poop.
Right.
Yeah, and the thing is, I feel like Hollywood in general has just lost their originality. I mean, the 80s for me, even though I wasn't alive back then, having watched the movies, that for me is like the time where movie originality was its peak.
Well,
yeah, for
because they're more risky. The reason why we're getting so many superhero movies is because they're guaranteed moneymakers. There's no, why change the formula? And that's where things start to really stagnate. And I mean, honestly, name the last great original movie that you went and saw. That wasn't a superhero movie, not a Star Wars movie.
Not on that scale.
Inception.
Right. Which one?
Inception.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Inception was pretty original. You can't really count a James Bond movie because they're all kind of the same thing. But we do get a new James Bond every so often, and of course Daniel Craig was phenomenal. But
Skyfall was really a relief to go see because all the other Bond movies leading up to that were just kind of the same ho-hum action. Skyfall really told a story and it was phenomenal.
oh yeah,
And I liked how it broke the mold.
Yeah.
it
Where it's
really
not
did.
like, here's the stereotypical James Bond movie. It's like, no, we're going to tell about his past. And
Well,
we're
yeah,
going to
and that's the
show
thing, is
James
we got
Bond
to
as
see
a broken
him
man.
as a human being and
Right.
not just this spy. So love that, and there's just
There's some good original movies out there, but I mean, there's nothing like you're right. There was nothing like it was back in the '80s.
I think it's so sad that
Well, I think it's so sad that, I mean, you have, like, back in the 80s, Terminator.
Blade Runner.
Aliens.
Oh, yeah.
Back then,
Blade Runner. All these
Well,
movies.
and the first
back then, I'm
Terminator was
oh my
like totally a
gosh.
low budget movie.
And now,
And then look at the success. I mean,
Yeah.
that's, if you want to look at it, in terms of, okay, well, what rivaled that? Well, James Cameron, he had Avatar, which I thought was
Right.
sucked. I hated that movie. But
Dances with Wolves in space.
Dances with
Right.
Wolves in space.
Right.
Yeah.
But visually it was really stunning. And so the reason why I would say it's a landmark movie is because it did advance visual effects. Great. But yeah, when you look at the story,
well, I mean,
we've seen that movie forever.
the first 3 Star Wars movies advanced visual effects, but those were
This is
not
true.
good either.
This is true. This is true.
I mean, you can be great visually, but the storyline behind
true.
is just awful.
True.
Yeah. I mean, the Star Wars TV shows did more to advance the story than the
Yeah.
movies.
And that's completely true. The Clone Wars and Rebels have done more to advance kind of the backstory and all of that than the prequels ever did.
Where
But-
are you with Solo?
With Solo, I've got mixed feelings.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like Star Wars. And when I see the visuals and I look at it, it doesn't feel like Han Solo to me. I don't know. I'll give it a chance, absolutely, but I just think I'm not too sure. I love seeing the new Millennium Falcon. I love seeing Chewie, but it feels so different and not in a good way. I'll hold out hope, but yeah, my personal opinion, I'm not too sure.
Well, I think the fact that it's not Star Wars, or that when you watch it, it doesn't feel like Star Wars, is a good thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I think, because when people think of Star Wars, they think of Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Chewbacca, Princess Leia. Well, all those characters are gone. Well,
Yeah.
Chewie,
Right.
But I mean, he's not going to be around too much longer.
Yeah.
So I mean, eventually you're going to have to break away from that. And Rogue One was a perfect example of that.
Oh,
Rogue
that
One
was so good.
Yeah.
Well, in Rogue One, to me, kind of a little bit was like, no, I know it's a Star Wars movie, but it is so different. It doesn't feel like Star Wars. But then when I went and saw it, it was like,
It was
okay, no,
phenomenal.
this is more Star Wars than the prequels.
Yeah.
I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, I'm watching Solo, and it kind of felt more like Blade Runner-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about
than
that.
kind of Star Wars.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that.
I kind of do
Kinda
too.
like that. I kind of like the mix of both worlds. In that film. So
Well, I'm looking forward to the podcast that weekend to talk about that movie because
be awesome.
our rule is, just so you know, Tyler,
You don't talk
our
about
rule
it
is we
until
don't talk about it. We don't talk about it to each other. And we deliberately do not go see the movies with each other for that reason, because we're going to kind of walk out of there and be like, oh, dude.
When we went to go see Black Panther was a perfect example.
Yeah.
We both went to go see it the same night, but I went to the later show. Dave went to the earlier show. But then the first time I think you saw it the second time too, before our podcast.
No, I saw it.
So you saw it after.
I saw it after.
But yeah, the first time we all sat down, we pressed record, and we're just like, look at each other. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
I know.
That
yeah.
movie was
Freaking
awesome.
Awesome. And a whole hour just dedicated to that movie.
Well, and then we talked back and forth. Okay, this is what Jeff saw, and this is what I saw. So it would be the same thing with Solo. It would be the same thing with Avengers, where we're going to go and see it, but we're going to see it separately, so that we don't taint each. We don't have any preconceived notion of what the other thought. So if one of us thinks the movie sucked, we can come into it fresh and actually have a fresh debate. So
I'm 100% sure not one of us is going to come in and say, that movie sucked.
no. Solo could go horribly wrong. I don't think it's going to, though.
I don't think so.
I think it's going to be very surprising. It's going to be better than a lot of us are kind of given credit for.
You have the right director.
We
with
do.
this picture. I mean, Ron Howard is not going to direct a suck-ass Star Wars film.
Well, and like I said before, in a previous podcast, I think we were both kind of skeptical. I know we were both kind of skeptical, and then they released the trailer, and so it kind of went from to. Well, it's like, okay, no, you've got my attention now. You're starting to show me that, no, this actually might be pretty good. And that visual, I mean, I just want to go and see just this one shot on screen of that Star Destroyer going into the mist or the nebula or whatever it is.
That was cool.
Dropping the TIE fighters out.
Yeah.
It's like, I will go see it just for that.
Yep.
One thing I will say about this, and this is a problem I did have with the trailer, I disagree with the fact that they're using well-known faces. To me, that takes it out of the Star Wars universe. Because, like, the shot where they're flying through the nebula, and you see actors, I saw actors that I recognized, and for me, that kind of killed it.
No, I kind of get that, because Rogue One
We talked about that too. Yeah.
did a brilliant job in not doing that. There was very few faces that you saw, and it's like, oh, okay, I recognize him. Like the guy, Commander Krennic, where we saw him in The Dark Knight and a couple other places. But for the most part, yeah, it was people that we didn't really identify with another movie readily.
I mean, you
And
see
so I like
Woody
that.
Harrelson there in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, and just like,
Exactly.
It's like, yeah,
I know,
don't know.
but you know, it can't be any worse than Episode 1. And I enjoyed Episode 1.
I have high hopes for this movie. Honestly,
I do too. I think it's going to be amazing. I think it's actually, well, I'm not going to say amazing, but I think it's actually going to be a ton of freaking fun.
Yeah.
That I will agree with.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be able to go and enjoy it and walk out and go, you know what, that was pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
And that's my hope for it.
No, I'm stoked for it. I'm gonna get. Just like you said, you got to give it a chance, and who knows, you could be pleasantly surprised.
We could. I mean, and we'll play devil's advocate. It could totally be horrible. Just a crap storm. It totally could be. But until, again, I hear the end credits start playing, I'm going to hold out judgment.
Yeah, same.
I mean, you got Harrison Ford is the technical director on this movie. I mean, he's advising this new lad. You got George Lucas even directed a scene in this movie.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have the right people behind the scenes, I think, for this movie. It's gonna do it.
You know, we do, and like we had talked about again in a previous podcast, with Ron Howard, really is going to treat this lovingly because he has a good relationship with George Lucas, and they are friends. And so
American Graffiti.
So way back, and so there's going to be a level of love and a huge amount of respect for his direction of this movie. Yeah, for this property. So I am having a hard time seeing it as horrible, because even going back to the prequels aren't as disastrous as.
No, I thought episode 3 was fantastic.
Oh yeah, and so people talk about them like they're these just horrible, horrible movies, and they're really not. They're not the best movies ever made.
No, they're not that bad.
They're flawed, but they're not. They're also not like, oh, that's complete garbage, because that would be The Shape of Water.
Right.
That movie sucked. Anyway.
Yeah.
I think we got that in. So every week I've told you that The Shape of Water
blows.
Sucks.
Right.
One thing I will say, and this makes me happy, the fact that Harrison Ford is working on the movie, that means, at least for me, he can give input as like, no, I don't feel like this is, because he's played the character.
He can flat out say, no, Han Solo wouldn't do that.
Yeah, and I like that. That gives me hope.
Because he is Han Solo. So, yeah, there's all these little things that are starting to come out. It's like, no, this movie's not going to be as bad as everybody seems to think it's going to be.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think we'll be pleasantly surprised.
Oh, yep. We shall. Yep. Well, dude, we're coming up on that time.
Yep. 55 minutes has gone by just like that.
It has. It's like a fart in the wind. Feels good when it goes out. Kind of stinks in the middle, though. No, just kidding. No.
And with that, we are going to bid adieu. Thank you, Tyler, for coming by.
Yeah, it's good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
It's awesome to have you here.
Definitely have to have you come in again and do this.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to see those edits when you get done with them, man. That's
you got
it. That's going to be pretty cool.
I can drop them off later.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll get it to you.
All right, folks. Well, thanks for joining us. And as always, I'm not Dave.
And I'm not Jeff.
And we'll see you next week.